Well, boys, with the impending doom of knowing that Season 3 of Overwatch 2 is on the way, I might as well give my review on Season 2 of Overwatch 2. Spoiler alert, it's not good. None of us liked it. We all were here. Everything from the events down to even just getting a free skin was done in the worst way possible to either maximize people playing the game, watching the game, or paying for the game. I'm like, hell, even the ranked system, essentially Overwatch 2 is built all around right now, it's not even being played by most of the top players and content creators. Because the system is broken, and for some reason the devs at Overwatch 2 can't realize that you made a trash rank system. That's it. That's all it is. You remade the rank system, but worse. There's a good silver lining. There's no silver lining to this. It's all around garbage. It's so bad to where the top 500 players just stop. As soon as they get to top 500, they're done. They don't want to play anymore. As soon as they receive their rank they want to achieve, no one plays ranked anymore. Everyone is now sweating in quick play. And yet they're so steadfast on this rank system. Like, yeah, they're saying they're going to tweak it here and there. But for some reason, they keep saying to themselves, but the rank system is very marginally better than the one from Overwatch 1, right, guys? Whenever we're all like, no, Overwatch 1 rank system was pretty decent. Like, it wasn't the best, but it was light years ahead of what we got now. And ranked, for some reason, you're playing with people that are like a division or two lower than you. Who wants to play with someone a division or two lower than them? And then the devs say, oh, it's because the person has a similar MMR. No, they don't. They don't perform like they got a similar MMR, because whenever I see them in game, guess what they're not doing? Playing at a similar MMR level. It seems like the Overwatch 2 devs peaked back in 2016, and now they're trying to relive their glory days of high school, because everything is being handled so poorly. For some reason, Overwatch 2 is trying to capture the Fortnite audience, even though they already had their own audience that was pretty loyal. I mean, like, we literally played the game for like, what, 3 years with no content? We were a pretty loyal group of people, but for some reason they spat on us and then took a masterpiece and watered it down. For people who generally don't even want to play the game, because somebody tells me the kids with ADHD that gets content every week from old Epic Games at Fortnite don't want to play a game where they have to wait 9 weeks for one update that doesn't even change the game. It's almost like no one at Blizzard did any kind of marketing research into the audience they were trying to capture and the audience that they already have. And I don't get why so many games nowadays, especially Overwatch, are trying to become like these esports. 99% of the people that you're trying to get to play your game don't care about esports and will never even watch or play them. There's a reason why Overwatch League numbers are so far down. Like, I haven't heard of a single actual human being that watches the Overwatch League. No one that I know that plays Overwatch cares about the esports. And then another thing, the balancing. Oh, it's not good. Oh my god. Another thing, they're trying to balance the game around, like, I'm assuming casual players, like very low ranked casual players, instead of balancing the game around it being, you know, fun. You know, that thing that for some reason they keep strangling out of most of the games over there at Blizzard? For some reason they're balancing the game around ranked instead of how fun and how engaging the character is. Because look at Genji. Genji in the beginning of Overwatch 2 was hands down the funnest. Hands down the funnest Genji we've ever had. And then it only took them a month for them to be like, all right, you boys had fun. I get it. You all like the Cyborg Ninja, right? Everyone wants to buy the skin for, no, we don't want you to buy the skins for the Cyborg Ninja. We don't want you to like the Cyborg Ninja. Come on. We have Kiriko over. You want to buy a $20 Kiriko skin? Oh, what about Hanzo? We got a $30 Hanzo skin for you. Like, it's stupid. It's stupid. Like, no one is allowed to get any kind of attachment to their actual character, because as soon as they do, Blizzard comes in and just stomps on it. Like Doomfist. They took out DPS Doomfist for no real reason. They could have just, tweaked a couple more numbers. I still, to this day, don't get why they took out Doomfist, made him a tank, and then made him the worst tank. You essentially did all that work to rework him into the worst version of him that no one wants to play. And then you buffed him to be somewhat fun, and then you nerfed him again a week later, while somehow Roadhog never got a rework, even though everyone was like, yo, Roadhog should probably be a DPS if there's only gonna be one tank. Orisa got a pretty good rework, a real good rework, almost like she's unstoppable. And then they, for some reason, buffed her instead of any of the other tanks so she could combat Roadhog being overpowered. Like, what? For some reason, they made an already overpowered character even more overpowered so it could hopefully deal with the other overpowered character. And then a month later, they just said, you know what, Roadhog can't one-shot anymore. If you hook, you now have to do a little bit of damage before. Like, you couldn't just do that before instead of making Rissa just overpowered? Let's all be honest here. The balancing is always going to be awful. We have all these characters that I'm going to be honest, we as a community that actually plays the game, we know how to fix them. We 100% know how to fix them. We tell them how to fix them. But for some reason, the data doesn't show that they need to be fixed, even though Sojourn still one-shots. Mercy, kind of getting overpowered, kind of hard to hit her too whenever she's in Valkyrie mode and she's just going back and forth in the air. What else we got here? What else we got on the list? Junkrat, it's actually kind of creeping into the meta a little too hard. That be doing too much. And yet, for some reason, we can't get any kind of balancing on that. But God forbid, one of the beloved characters by the Overwatch community like Doomfist, Genji, God forbid they become slightly strong. Oh no, we can't have Genji dashing into the backlines, slashing up the DPS, and maybe getting the healers too, even though the healers are already playing DBD with Tracer, Sojourn, Junkrat. Whatever he wants to do, it can be done. Orisa can just literally mow past the tank and the DPS and just get straight to the healers. And don't mention Roadhog hook because, oh no, just because you got rid of the whole, one shot doesn't mean he can't hook and turn around and have you face his whole team. And yet Genji having to hit people with what, 4 or 5 shurikens and then a dash, that's broken. That was the broken part. Or tweaking Doomfist to where his fist does damage and doesn't have people bouncing off the wall like a bouncy ball. That's also the broken part. Not the one-shotting Roadhog, not the Orisa that can spear you into a wall. The Doomfist who has to charge up his whole entire fist, launch his whole entire body into someone. They're not allowed to stick to the wall unless someone does a little bit of damage to his arm. And not just a little bit of damage, almost an intentional amount of damage. Like, they had it perfect with the 50 damage, but for some reason, 1 or 2 people complained that Doomfist was getting his charged fist too easily. The whole thing his kit is now based around. His fully charged fist is now the broken part. Alright, let's move on from balancing. The events. Oh, they're garbage. I'm gonna be honest, I enjoy myself some casual game modes in games, but Overwatch 2 has never made a good casual game mode. I'm not sorry. That is a factual statement just by the numbers of people playing Deathmatch and the numbers of people who were playing the Battle for Olympus, but the only thing they were doing in there were telling people, hey, meet in the middle and I'll let you kill me if you let me kill you for one of my challenges. And speaking of Battle for Olympus, it was bland, boring, uninspired. You literally had the choice of 3 tanks, 2 DPS, and 1 healer. And for some reason, the 3 tanks, 2 DPS, and 1 healer were all picked at random out of a hat, I assume. Because, A, why is the god of hell, Hades, in the sky? And why is Zeus, the god of the sky and lightning, on the ground? That didn't make any sense to me. The Minotaur for Reinhardt made sense. The Cyclops for Roadhog, I guess, yeah, it makes sense. It could have even, hell, it could have been for Diva too. It literally could have been for Bastion. And the only person where it really fit their personality and their whole play style and type was Lucio. Him as what, Perseus? I don't know the Greek gods. It's someone that goes fast. That's what I know. But Lucio was the only one that really actually fit his whole entire god's personality perfectly. Then on top of that, not only was the event trash, the skins were overpriced as usual in Overwatch 2, but also the Chinese New Year's event came out and it was even worse. It somehow got worse, boys. I don't understand how. They literally took 1 skin, recolored it, and put ears on top of it for May. And that was the event skin. That was the brand new skin that we were supposed to be hyped to pay $20 to $30 or whatever. I don't even look at the story anymore. We were supposed to be hyped to pay money for that skin. And yet it was the most uninspired skin. And then the sad part on top of that, usually we get 3 new skins. I would assume that, Overwatch 2 would want to maximize profits. So, where's the other 2 skins? Oh, they're free, quote unquote, but 1, you have to watch literally 6 hours of a stream. Don't know who cares about that. For a Mora skin, that's not even good. It's like the most mid Mora skin known to man. And then you have to complete, 6 challenges for an Echo skin that most people already have? This whole Lunar New Year's event, if you can call it that, at this point it's just a shop update. It's just a cash grab, which we don't care at this point. We're playing Overwatch 2. We already know what the whole game is. But like, it's the worst cash grab because you put out a subpar product that no one in their right mind wants to actually buy. And then on top of that, you lowered the standards. Instead of having 3 subpar products that maybe one of them could shine out of, you know, all 3 of them, you only put out 1, and then the other 2 were literally in the game before this game came out. It was already in the game and people already have both of them, and you put both of them behind ridiculous walls for no reason other than you just want people to be somewhat engaged in your game. One, you have to complete 6 challenges in game modes that no one wants to play. Then the other one, you have to watch 6 hours of an Overwatch 2 stream. Who's doing that? And then the cherry on top of this whole trash season of Overwatch 2 is that in the Lunar New Year's, Blizzard took all of their games, including Overwatch 2, out of China. The whole reason for the event to recognize Chinese Lunar New Year, they took all their games offline in China. And they knew months ahead that this was gonna happen. There's no way they did it. There's no way that 2 giant corporations that were working together for years didn't know that, hey man, you didn't sign this contract a few months ago. We're gonna have to start terminating some servers in here if you don't sign it. And Blizzard's like, we're not signing that. At this point, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna just throw a Hail Mary out there. I usually don't even say this, but at this point, this has to be like a FU to China and all the China players out there. There's no way it's not, because this event was the worst by far. It had the least amount of skins, the most uninspired skin. Like, there's no way that they didn't take this whole thing to heart at Blizzard. There's no way they did it. I don't even get the point of doing the Lunar New Year's event at this point. Seeing that you just took a whole country that you were trying to represent in your game out of the game. They can't play it anymore. They're not allowed to play your game anymore. And yet you're still trying to show that we have diversity at Blizzard. And yet you took the servers for games that millions of people loved in a whole country away from them because another company wanted a slight better profit margin. Bro, it writes its own self. That's like a whole comedy routine. Yes, we believe in diversity and we love to show diversity in our games. There's barely any black people in Overwatch 2. The ones that are in Overwatch 2 are mostly weak. And then on top of that, the Chinese players get a whole event that they've been playing for years. And then for some reason, on Lunar New Year's, they take the servers down for the Chinese players. And then on top of that, they allow an event for a whole region they don't allow to play their game anymore to carry on. I've never heard of such blatant disrespect in my life, but oh my god, this is it. But boys, these are my thoughts on Overwatch 2 Season 2. What do you guys think about it? Tell me in the comments down below. But other than that, I'm getting out of here. Man, I want to be honest, I don't know how much longer I can play Overwatch. If Season 3 is bad, we might have to find a new game, boys. But other than that, I hope you all have a nice night, sweet dreams, and I'll see you all in the next video.